Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2. And today I'm going to be giving you part 5 of What If Naruto was trained by gods. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual, share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also, stay in tune for What If Tsunade was Naruto's mother over on Anime King. And I also post a new episode of What If Naruto took his training seriously over there. So go ahead and check it out and enjoy. And guys, I post a new episode on this channel of What If Naruto was taken by Orochimaru. So go ahead and check out that and enjoy. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and join the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. And without further ado, let's get straight into this new episode. Start the intro.
I think the girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their
So, the last part we left off, Naruto took part in the Chunin exams, as he fly through the first phase with a breeze, as Anko and Zabuza were the next phase of the exam, as everyone went to the forest of death, as Anko and Zabuza explained the rules about the scrolls, as Naruto was handed a heaven scroll. They all then set up at the gates, as they were all told to enter as they dashed into the forest. Once Naruto got into the forest, he did something that he has been putting off for a long while now. The wolf and the lion summoning contract, as he asked the both of them if he was able to summon the both of them, as the both of them gave him permission, as Naruto thanked them as they went off, as Naruto was able to use 2 summons. Naruto then went as he faced off against a genuine team from the Hidden Rain, as he easily took care of them and took their scroll, which was a heaven scroll, lucky for him. As he then went off, he was going to go to the tower when he sensed an evil chakra. As he rushed over there, Orochimaru was in the process as he beat down on Sasuke's neck hard, transferring the curse mark. As Naruto came there and kicked away Orochimaru, as the both of them went into an epic battle, but Naruto was able to keep up with Orochimaru blow for blow and even overpowering Orochimaru, as Naruto told him that his strength is wasted on using on these evil matters, but Orochimaru told him that he will never change. In the end, Orochimaru escaped, as Naruto found Sakura, Sasuke and Sai, as Sasuke was passed out, as Naruto decided to help him, as he entered Sasuke's mind, as Naruto's physical body was also gone. As a sound team, Dosu, Kin and Zaku found Sakura and Sai. So yeah guys, that was basically the last part we left off. You guys can stick across the place and check it out for yourself. So let's start this new episode. We start this new episode in Sasuke's mind. Naruto was walking through, as it looked like the Uchiha mansion, as he knew that Sasuke is still upset about the murder of his clan that happened all those years ago. The compound looked very dark, and he heard thunder crashing. Naruto searched around until he found Sasuke talking to Orochimaru. "Join me," Orochimaru said. "This is the only way you will be able to avenge your clan." "Sasuke, don't listen to him," Naruto yelled. "He just wants to give you power so that he could take your body and make himself stronger." "Quiet, Naruto," said Sasuke. This is the only way I will be able to get strong enough to avenge my clan." "So, you're just going to forget about everyone? What about me, Sakura, and Sai and the others? Not to mention Haku, what about her? If you leave, she will be crushed. Would you really let her go through that? Seeing you leave and thinking the worst?" Sasuke looked up at Naruto as he muttered the words, "Help me." "That's all I need to hear," said Naruto, as a white sword materialized in front of him as he grabbed it, as he sent out a shock wave that hit Orochimaru as he burst away into flames. As the sky then turned clear, as the sword vanished, as Naruto walked over to Sasuke. "Welcome back, Sasuke," Naruto said with a smile. "Thank you," Sasuke said. Naruto was fading away from Sasuke's mind when he remembered something. "Oh yeah, while I was looking around, I gave you a small adjustment, he said. Sasuke was about to ask what it was when Naruto completely faded away. I can ask him when I wake up, Sasuke said to himself. At that moment in the real world, Sasuke woke up from his nap as Naruto reappeared. The both of their eyes went wide as they saw Sakura unconscious, with a bleeding head, and Lee was in extreme pain. Sai, Shikamaru, Ino, and Choji were going against Dosu, Kin, and Zaku. At that moment, the two flared their chakra and made their presence known. Mind telling us what the hell you're doing with our friends? Naruto said as he glared at the sound team. We were sent here on a mission, said Zaku. They got in our way, so we're going to end them. Over our dead bodies, Sasuke said as he activated Sharingan. When he did, a few people gasped, as his eyes has completely changed. They were now black, with a white tomo in each eye, and the red pupil. Dosu raised his arm as he yelled, "Spike his sound wave!" Both Naruto and Sasuke jumped out of the way as a blast of air destroyed the tree that they were once inside of. As Naruto appeared next to Sakura and started to heal the wound on her head. "Naruto, what happened to Sasuke's Sharingan?" she said weakly. "I made an adjustment," said Naruto. "It's called the Onyx Sharingan. I not only changed the color, but I improved it." "I don't want to say anything now. There are so many people here," said Naruto. Sakura nodded as she watched Sasuke fight the Sound Ninja. As Sasuke dodged Dosu as he delivered a powerful roundhouse kick to Dosu's face as he crashed into a nearby tree. As Zaku was on Sasuke's left, his blind spot to try and hit him as Naruto finished healing Sakura's head, but she was surprised when did he move as she didn't even see Naruto move. As Naruto appeared in front of Zaku and grabbed his arm. "You seem very proud of these," said Naruto as he lifts Zaku off the ground with his arm, as he then twists Zaku's arm in mid-air as Zaku cried out in pain. As Naruto brought him back down that slam into the ground. As Kin was now shaking as she was backing away. "Leave your scroll and get out of here," said Naruto. As Kin didn't need to be told twice as she put down her scroll. As Dosu, who recovered from Sasuke's kick, quickly grabbed Zaku as he get out of there as Zaku was unconscious. Naruto picked up the scroll and looked at Team 7. "What scroll do you guys need?" he asked. "An Earth scroll," said Sai. As Naruto threw the scroll to them. "I already got the scrolls I need." At that moment, Tenten and Neji showed up. Tenten shook Lee and yelled at him until he was awake. The other teams then left and wished everyone good luck. "So," Sasuke said as they left, "now that we have some time to ourselves, what did you do to my Sharingan?" "I improved it," said Naruto. "It's called the Onyx Sharingan. With one Tomo, you have the same power as a regular Sharingan. With 2 Tomo, that brings out the Tsukiyomi. And with 3 Tomo, that brings out the Amaterasu. And with the Mangekyou, well, I don't really remember what it does. I wasn't paying attention to that part." Sasuke was quiet. Naruto gave him a sword and an improved version of the Sharingan. Things were really looking up. "Does this new version end with me?" Sasuke asked. "No, I had to alter your genes, so it will be passed on to your children." As Sasuke smirked at that, "Well," said Sai, "since we don't have to worry about you stealing our scroll, how about we head to the tower?" "Good idea," said Sakura. "Alright, let's go," as the group headed off. When Naruto and his group arrived at the tower, they noticed that the team from the sand had made it, and none of them had a scratch, and Team 8 was there as well. "Hey guys," said Kiba as he noticed them. They just spent the rest of time in the tower as they waited until other teams came. On the final day, they were all called to the tower center in a huge fighting arena. "You have all been called here for a special reason," the Hokage said. "Since there's a large amount of finalists here, you will be all participating in the preliminaries." "Preliminaries?" Kiba repeated. "Yes," the Hokage said. "The contestants will be selected randomly and shown on the screen." "Bring out the screen," he said, as the screen came out, as everyone turned towards it. As the first match was Sasuke versus Yori. "Looks like I get to fight first," said Sasuke. Up on the platform, Orochimaru was in disguise as he smiled as he saw Sasuke's name. "Time to see what you can do," he thought. As the other contestants went up the stairs as they waited to watch. Sasuke looked at his opponent. He had on a mask that covered most of his face and he was wearing sunglasses. Haku appeared as she was wearing a Chunin vest as she was a ref for the contest. Are you guys ready? She asked. As the both of them nodded as Sasuke smiled. Alright, begin, she said. As Sasuke activated his new Sharingan, as he rushed towards Yuri, the both of them went into a taijutsu battle. But Yuri managed to get a grip on Sasuke as he was stealing Sasuke's chakra. You're stealing my chakra, Sasuke said. And what are you going to do? Said Yuri. This, said Sasuke, as he kicked him in the stomach, as he sent him flying in the air, as Sasuke performed a lion's barrage and ended with a massive drop kick. As Haku announced Sasuke the winner of the match. As Sasuke just went up the stairs, the computer ran through names again as it stopped. Naruto Uzumaki versus Rock Lee. Yosh, said Lee, as he jumped down. Naruto, Sakura said, don't underestimate Lee. He's really strong. I wouldn't expect any less from the guy who challenged me, Naruto said, as Naruto made his way down to the arena. So Lee, said Naruto, I guess since you challenged me, I would only use my taijutsu on you. Yes, Lee said, I wish to see your taijutsu since it was unmentioned in your profile. Ready? Haku asked as the both of them nodded. Begin, she said. Lee rushed towards Naruto. Leaf Hurricane, he said, as Naruto dodged with incredible speed. As Naruto then dashed towards Lee as he sent punch and kicks, but Lee dodged them until Naruto punched him in the jaw, knocking him back. He's strong, Lee thought, as he rubbed his jaw. As Lee rushed at Naruto again and the two of them clashed, as they then jumped back, as Naruto jumped forward, as Lee moved, as Naruto's fist made contact with the ground, and cracks appear everywhere. But Naruto was still holding back a lot since he didn't want to show his true strength. Lee looked at Naruto. He was much more powerful than he thought he would be. Lee, said a voice, as Lee turned to see Guy, as Guy gave him a big thumbs up. Take them off. But Guy Sensei, no Lee, go ahead, take them off. Lee then jumped back as he went on the statue hands, as he took off his weights and dropped them. Everyone's eyes went wide as they saw the boom, as two craters were created. Lee suddenly vanished off the statue, as he reappeared in front of Naruto and sent a kick towards Naruto's face. But Naruto brought up his hands and blocked it, but the kick pushed him back. So you're wearing weights? Small world, Naruto said, as he seemed to be struggling to take off his shirt, as everyone was confused. But when he did take it off, he held it in one hand, as they saw the kanji for weights on both of his arms. But Naruto was holding his shirt away as he released the shirt, as it fell to the ground and boom. As everyone's eyes went wide. Weights were in his shirt, Guy thought, as Naruto smirked as he saw the shocked look on Lee's face. Now, before I release these, let's see how fast you really are, Naruto said, as he then stretched his arms, as you heard a few cricks. He then cricked his neck. Let's begin again, Lee, he said, as he vanished, as Lee vanished as well. As everyone heard crashes as the two of them clashed again and again. As the both of them then jumped back, as Naruto charged forward, as Lee then kicked him up in the air, as Lee released the bandages on his arms, as he appeared behind Naruto and wrapped them around him. Primary Lotus, he said, as he slammed Naruto down into the ground head first. But when the dust cleared, Lee only saw a crushed log. What the hell? He said, as Lee was looking around the arena to find Naruto, until he heard a voice in his ear. My turn, said the voice. As Lee turned, as an uppercut sent him flying in the air, as Naruto jumped straight up and appeared in front of Lee, as Naruto caught Lee by the front of his jumpsuit and gave him a nasty headbutt. As Naruto then punched Lee in the stomach, he then did a drop axe kick and knocked Lee straight down to the ground, as Lee slammed with a boom. As Naruto held up his hand, as he yelled, Raging Lion! As Naruto brought his fist down with so much force, there was a boom. Guy instantly jumped into the ring, as he waited for dust to clear. Lee was unconscious, but Naruto didn't hit him. Lee got knocked out from the drop kick. It seemed like Naruto punch and kicks has a lot of weight behind them, as Naruto's hand was in a hole that was deep in the ground beside Lee, as he pulled his hand out of the ground, as everyone was surprised the amount of physical strength that this kid has. With that said, the medics came and take Lee, as Orochimaru was up there looking down at Naruto. as he had an angry and a smiling look on his face that made him look really weird. As the Sand team was looking at Naruto, as Temari was interested, this guy seemed to be full of surprises. Kankuro was scared as he remembered he tried to challenge that guy and seeing now what he's capable of, and he knew that he didn't use any ninjutsu because he wanted to keep it to a taijutsu battle. But Gaara had a sick twisted smile on his face that made his brother and sister scared. Gaara then vanished in a swirl of sand as he appeared next to Naruto. "Uzumaki," he said. "If the Uchiha cannot prove my existence, then you will." As everyone who heard that went pale as the bloodlust and the way he said it sent shiver down their spine. But Naruto smiled. "I'm looking forward to that," he said. "Just be sure not to lose your cool when I beat you." As Gaara just chuckled to himself darkly as he went back to his siblings. The rest of the matches weren't that interesting. Ino fought Sakura as the both of them knocked each other out. Kiba went against a grass ninja and lost. And Kankuro won his match. Shino win against Zaku. Temari win against Tenten. Gaara went against some grass ninja as Gaara crushed him inside his sand coffin, killing him as Gaara was the only person who killed someone in the preliminaries. As Naruto knew that he has to do something against Gaara, but he had to wait until they fought. The match that got Naruto's attention was a match between Hinata and her cousin Neji. Neji had a grudge against the main house for the death of his father. Neji tried to kill her, but Hinata revealed that she had more as she revealed the 64 palms technique. Unfortunately, she passed out because of her low chakra. The next match was Shikamaru versus Kin, which Shikamaru won, and the next match was Dosu versus Choji, which Dosu won. "Now then," said Sarutobi as he stepped forward, "the boards will reveal the finals." As everyone then turned, the first match was Naruto versus Neji, the second match was Temari versus Shikamaru, the third match was Shino versus Kankuro, and the fourth match was Gaara versus Sasuke. "Now," the Hokage said, "you have 1 month to prepare." "1 month?" Kankuro asked. "What is that about?" "The month," Sarutobi explained, "is so that you can get some new tricks. It wouldn't be useful if you use the same move, right?" As everyone got the meaning of it, if they use the same move they use today, their opponents would easily counter their techniques. "Everyone understands?" Sarutobi said, as he got nods from everyone, then dismissed. After that was over, Sarutobi told Naruto that he and Minato will be revealing his heritage at the final round, as the people of Konoha didn't know that Naruto is Minato's son. As Naruto smirked, he couldn't wait for the people of the village to find out that the kid that they tried to kill so much time was the son of their savior. He also knew that the council was going to try and do something dumb, but that was a bridge he was going to cross when he get there. Meanwhile, a village far away from Konoha, Tsunade sit down in front of a slot machine, as Shizune was beside her with Tauntaun, as Tsunade was trying to win, but with her luck, there is a reason why they call her the legendary sucker. But Tsunade's eyes went wide as the machine dropped on 3 sevens as she won the jackpot. "Looks like your luck is starting to change," said a voice. As Tsunade felt her heart sink. That voice, it couldn't be. As she turned around to see the face of someone she never thought she would see again. "Grandfather?" she said. As Hoshirama smiled. "Hello," he said, "my darling granddaughter." As Tsunade started to tear up as she rushed forward and hugged him as she couldn't believe what she was seeing. It has been an hour since Tsunade reunited with her grandfather. As they were catching up, "So, how are you alive?" she asked. "Well," he explained, "since I lived the life of a righteous warrior, I became an archangel of Kami. We met someone and trained him. After he returned, so did we." "We?" said Shizune. "Yes, we," said Hoshirama, as the other cages and Kushina. As Shizune and Tsunade were surprised, they were back? Oh man, this is going to be an interesting day. "So, who did you train anyway?" Tsunade asked, curious. "Naruto," he explained, "your godson." "Naruto is alive?" said Tsunade. She was told that Naruto was killed during the sealing, as she couldn't believe this. What happened? She said. A few seconds later, they did what? Tsunade cried out. As a sound was heard all over the elemental nations. At the sand village, everyone was knocked out of their sleep. At the wave country, did you heard something, Grandpa? Inari asked. Yeah, I did, said Tazuna. At the Akatsuki base, everyone jumped up at the yell. What was that? Hidan said, as he looked up from his ritual. I have no idea, said Kisame. Back with Tsunade, Shizune, and Hoshirama were heading back to Konoha. Wait until I get there, she said. Back at Konoha, Naruto was heading back after the preliminaries to see if he can get his dad to train him even more. As he walked in to find his mom and dad making out on the couch, gross, he said, as the both of them separated. Old people love. We are not old, said Kushina. So what is it that you need, son? Minato asked, a little annoyed that he had interrupted them. I need more training for the final exams, said Naruto. Well, I think it's time that me and your mother teach you some of our clan moves, said Minato. Clan moves? Naruto asked. Yes, Kushina said. You will spend 2 weeks training with me, and then the other 2 weeks training with your father. So, what are you going to teach me? Naruto asked, as his curiosity got the better of him. Well, Kushina said as he rubbed her chin, you know the swords technique from Kami and Yami and the Shinigami, correct? Well, I can teach you some of the Uzumaki techniques that will throw your opponents for a loop. Then your father can teach you his prize moves. Really? Said Naruto as he got a nod from both of his parents. Cool, he said. At that moment, the envoy appeared. But he was one of them that Sarutobi trusted with the secret that Kushina and Minato were still alive, and also that Naruto was their son. Uzumaki, the council has requested your presence, said the envoy. Naruto groaned as he smacked his forehead. I'll be back soon, Naruto said as he walked out and headed for the council room. As soon as he got there, Rose Haruno started to go off. What have you done to my daughter, boy? She yelled angrily. What the hell are you talking about? Asked Naruto. My daughter, she screamed. She stopped trying to win the heart of the Uchiha, and now she's going out with some big eyebrow freak. As Naruto realized what she was talking about Lee. I have done nothing to your daughter. She finally realized that it's not going to happen, especially that Sasuke is now dating Haku. So she has given up her crush and trying to find an interest in other people. I know that you've done something to my daughter, you little... Enough, Lady Haruno, said a council member. I think we should get to the topic on how the boy became so strong. I had a few good teachers, Naruto said. Now, if that is all, I will be leaving. You will leave when we tell you to, brat, said the same councilman. You know, I'm getting tired of this, said Naruto. Sarutobi wasn't here, it was just these council members. As Naruto turned at them and glared at them, as he released a large amount of killing intent. I don't even know why I keep on coming to these meetings. The Hokage is not even here. You think you can ask me anything without his permission? So, screw all of you, said Naruto. And if you want to ask me something, just try and stop me from leaving. As he then turned and walked away, as all of them was speechless. As Naruto went back home, it was dark, so he didn't decide to bother his parents. He just went upstairs and went to bed. The next morning he woke up. He saw a note on his nightstand. It was written by his mother. Dear Naruto, me and your father had to go take care of some business. We will be back later in the day. You can meet me around 5, so we can start your training. Love, Mom and Dad. Naruto put down the note as he started to make breakfast. As he was doing that, he wondered what was his mother and father doing. Meanwhile, at the hot spring, in another village nearby Konoha, Jiraiya was currently peeping through a small hole, doing his research. He then felt a wave of killing intent as he turned around to see Kushina and Minato, as he was shocked. As that wasn't the shock thing, Kushina was rushing towards him as he didn't know what the hell was going on, as she picked him up by the collar. You were supposed to protect our son, she said, but you're here peeping on these ladies, as she slammed him into a nearby tree as she started to beat the absolute crap out of him. As Jiraiya looked up at Minato begging for his help, but Minato joined in as well and started to beat him up as well, as they then threw him inside of the hot springs. As the girls saw him there with his notebook. One of the girls picked it up as they read what he wrote. "Pervert," she said, as all of the girls inside started to beat the crap out of him. Hours later, "Is that all you got?" said Kushina, as both her and Naruto was fighting, as she had two swords in her hand, made from the same metal that was created from Naruto's angel hand. As Naruto smirked, as he then released something from his other hand. The kanji for devil was on it. As Kushina knew what was coming, as he released a pitch black sword, as it was large, just as angel hand. "So, you brought out Shadow Claw," Kushina said with a smirk, as he dashed forward, as the both of them start their epic training. Meanwhile, on another training ground, Sasuke was panting on the ground, as Kakashi looked down at him. "Is that all you got?" he said. "Not even close," Sasuke said as he stood up. Meanwhile, Orochimaru was currently going over the plan to attack Konoha. As he got up and walked away, he then heard a voice in his head. "You can't do this," as he turned to see a younger form of himself in a mirror. "You can't just destroy the village that brought us into the world," the reflection said. "You can't stop me," Orochimaru said. "I will destroy this village and take this world as my own." "You must stop now," the reflection said, as Orochimaru slammed his hand into the mirror, breaking it. Why is what that kid said to him getting to him? "Screw that kid," Orochimaru said as he walked off. 2 weeks later, both Naruto and Sasuke were out in a training field as Sasuke was telling Naruto what happened. Sasuke came home to see the sight that made his blood boil. Haku was being held down by a Anvu, but not a normal Anvu, this was a root, as he injected her with something to make her unable to move. As Sasuke heard what he said, that Danzo has use for her bloodline. It was then that Sasuke's eyes activate, as he activated 3 Tomos in his new Sharingan, and the Anvu was set ablaze, but luckily, Haku was fine. "Isn't Danzo that guy on the council?" Naruto said. "Yeah, I think he is," said Sasuke. "I will take this to the Hokage," Sasuke said after a few seconds of silence. "She's my girlfriend, it's my problem." As Sasuke said his goodbyes as he went off, as Naruto then walked off as he went to another training ground where he sensed Sakura's chakra. As he went over there, as he was surprised to what he saw, Sakura was sitting down in Lee's lap, as she was turned facing him and the both of them were making out. As Naruto noticed a few craters in the ground, they both must have been training. As Naruto smirked and just left the both of them, as Naruto then went to Ino Flower's shop. As he walked in, he was instantly hugged by her. "So, how has your training been coming along, Foxy?" Ino said, because that was Naruto's nickname. Because Naruto told her everything that happened, and the reason why the villagers used to treat him that way. But she comforted him by calling him Foxy, as she told him the name suit him. "Just fine," Naruto said. "My mom has been training me non-stop ever since the second round, though she and dad had something to do before they did. But I just feel like someone is currently suffering in a world of hurt." Ino just giggled. "Well, I've been training too. My dad has been training me in some of the Yamanaka moves. I even learned a few taijutsu and my genjutsu has gone up a bit." "Nice," said Naruto, as he gave her a hug. "Well, I got to go. I have to meet another sensei for training." "Let me know how it goes," Ino said, as Naruto left. When he got back home, he found Tobirama and Hashirama talking to 2 other people and a pig. As the pig was the first one to notice Naruto in the room as he walked over, as Hashirama then turned. "Oi, Naruto. Glad to see that you're home." "Glad to be home, I guess," Naruto said. "So who are those 2? And the pig?" "Well," said Hashirama, "this is my granddaughter Tsunade, and the other is her assistant Shizune, and the pig is Tauntaun." "So, you're my godson?" said Tsunade. "Godson?" said Naruto, as Tsunade walked forward, as she looked down at Naruto. But she then hugged him. "I am sorry I wasn't there for you," she said. "I thought that you had died." "Those bastards," she said. "It's okay," said Naruto. "You're talking about the council, right?" "Yeah," she said. "Don't worry, I have a source inside of Danzo's group, and I know how to bring those bastards down." "Good," said Tsunade. "I just have one condition, that when the times come to execute them, I get to be the one to crush their skulls." Naruto, Minato said as he walked in the room. There you are. I was looking for you. Tomorrow, your training starts with me. Got it, Pops, Naruto said. Time skip. The month was over as the Chunin exams were about to begin. As Sasuke, Gaara, Temari, Kankuro, Naruto, Neji, Shino, Shikamaru all stood in the ring. Welcome everyone, said Sarutobi, and let the finals of the Chunin exams begin. But guys, I'm be ending this episode right here. If you want to see the next part of this, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. Remember to share to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also stay in tune because I'm going to be giving you a new part of What If Tsunade was Naruto's mother over on Anime King. So stay in tune for that, guys, and I hope you enjoy. And remember to click that red subscribe button and join Anime King and Anime King 2 and become a part of the Anime King family. So without further ado, let's get straight into this new episode. Start the intro.